Hey, what's up, folks? You reached another episode of The Makings of Moo, and I thank you for watching. Even though this video is for myself, as you probably know by now. But what I want to talk about today is how compassion is a selfish act. Why is it a selfish act? Well, let's just think about the root of compassion. Come means with, and passion actually means suffering. So it means to suffer with. And if you think about that, it means like you don't try and do anything. To have compassion for someone, you don't try and do anything. You're just there with them and you're accepting them for who they are. So in essence, you're suffering with them. Now, the choice to suffer is always our own, so you don't have to suffer. It's just a turn of phrase to mean that you're just with them as they are without trying to change anything. And sometimes that act alone is enough to help. I know often, you don't want to hear what someone has to say about your situation when you're venting. You just want them to hear you and to just go, I get it. And even if they don't say anything, it's just an energy of acceptance, like right where you're at, it's okay. That's a part of the human condition. So why is it a selfish act? Because one, you don't have to get all caught up in it. It's not something that you have to get your hands in. You just be yourself with them. Also, when you think about it, it's not just like, compassion is not just for a friend. Compassion is for the asshole. You know what I mean? Why is that a selfish act? Because you realize that if they knew better, they would be doing better. If they felt better about themselves, they would be in a different space completely. So what does that mean? Are you going to add on to the stress by seeing someone who is sick and clearly unable to communicate themselves in a way that brings happiness to their heart? What are you going to do? Are you going to add on to that? No. Because what you're doing, you're not helping them, and guess what? You're not helping yourself. So compassion in that moment is to just affirm for them some change. Or affirm for them just peace, rather. That they will find their way eventually. And so what happens is that, a person is, going through their control drama, as James Redfield would say, and you're there and you don't have a response. You ever did that? It's amazing. People go from 150% of all of that they're expressing to you to like 0 and like no time flat. I've done it. Where you just go, and they're like, you motherfucker, because what they're used to is someone jumping right on board and chiming in and what, I'm a mother, and then it's just, and I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm not getting involved. That has nothing to do with me. All right? That's why it's a selfish act. And so what happens, a win-win situation, you don't get messy, and the other person sees that you truly are not going to be pulled into this, and they have to deal with whatever it is that they're experiencing in their own experience. And that, to me, is more beneficial than anything that you can possibly give a person, is to just be with them. It's super important for me because I find myself to be judgmental at times. Why? Because I don't understand something. I'm like, that makes no sense to me. Why are you being the way that you are? And because I don't get it, because it's outside my realm of personal experience, I'm like, I'm so upset by that. Why? Why do I need to be upset because I don't understand something? It makes no sense. Like when you hash it out and you think about it and these basic terms, it just makes no sense to like get upset because you don't understand something. What is that really? It's fear. So why be afraid of anything? Just allow it to be what it is. You don't have to understand why a tiger eats what it eats or that it sleeps where it sleeps. You just don't have to understand it. It is allowing the universal principle that is to establish you and your individuality to exist in someone else without your judgment. What happens when you don't judge? Guess what? You got less thoughts in your head. Less negative thoughts. What does that mean? You've got more energy to do other things, like things you possibly could like. Do you know what I mean? So, it stands to reason why we would just allow people to do what they need to do. and to be okay with them. And so that's why I think compassion is a selfish act. Be compassionate. Save yourself some time. Save yourself some energy, and practice loving. It's an amazing place to get to when you see your enemy as simply like a little baby hurt, trying his or her best to work through it. That means to suffer with them and to know that we are one. Not even some hokey pokey new age shit. We are one, and that's all I have to say about that. So, you know, get to getting, you know, and don't say I didn't tell you so. Peace.